persistent, sad or anxious or empty mood most of the day, and then nearly every day, at least for 2 weeks. So after your childbirth, some of the symptoms are sadness, and this sadness comes persistently. It's not like off, but it comes continuous. You begin to have this depression, the sadness, the tears. You feel so anxious and you are sad throughout for approximately about 2 weeks, and it's consistent. When you have that consistency after childbirth, feeling sad and anxious that way, then there's a problem, and I seek you to please seek help, because that is critical. So one is sadness, and then number two is feelings of guilt, worthless and helpless. So as you are there, you begin to feel guilty. We all know that after childbirth, especially if you are a new mom, you have issues because sometimes you don't know how to take care of newborns, and you feel warm, and so you are not able to do the most for your child, so you feel like guilty, you feel worthless, and sometimes you feel helpless as well. So some of the feelings that comes out are feelings of guilt and worthlessness. Then number three is being restless or having trouble sitting still. So as I'm sitting, you see I'm sitting still. But when you are having postpartum depression after delivery of your child, and you are suffering from these mood disorders, sometimes it's very hard to even sit still. You begin to get up or move, or you are so uncomfortable. So it becomes restless. You become restless. You are stressed out. You can't sit still. And that is very hurtful. And so you can go through that. And so John's welcome, Augustine, Bernardine, thank you for joining. And also number four is feelings of hopelessness or pessimism. So when we say hopeless, like you don't have the hope, that you are not able to do the most for your baby, and so you feel hopeless. Those are some of the changes that you begin to exhibit once you have postpartum depression. I think it's very serious, so we can seek help that way. Also, number five is loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities that you used to like. For instance, maybe you used to sing a lot. Now you can't even sing. When you hear music, you don't even feel like joining in. You don't even want to do the most things that you used to do. And those are some of the symptoms that you will feel. So please, if you are here joining me, we are talking about postpartum depression. And right now we are on the symptoms. If you can do me a favor and hit the screen multiple times, or share through the arrow so that others can see and join us for this education. You might not be going through it, but you might have family members or friends and loved ones going through that, and they might be in need, and also learn about it and seek help where necessary. So you begin to lose the interest, like we said. Also, difficulty concentrating or remembering or making decisions. So as you are there, you begin to have difficulty thinking through things, and so you forget things. You begin to wander around when looking for something. You might be even holding a key, and you will still be looking for that key. And so some of these things comes out. You have a clog in the brain, or fog in the brain. So you are not able to think straight or think through things, and you begin to forget things easily. And that is difficulty concentrating. You can't focus on one thing. To even change a diaper, you can't focus on it, and that becomes a problem. Number 6 and number 7 is feeling of irritability or frustration or restlessness. So when you begin to have this frustration, because when you are not able to concentrate, sometimes it can cause some sort of frustration for you. You begin to have the frustration like anger, because you are not able to focus on one thing. If you are to change a diaper, your mind is not there. If you are to feed the baby, your mind is not there. Even yourself, eating becomes a problem. And so you are not able to do things right, and that can irritate you, cause a lot of frustration. And when you see all these symptoms going on, that is a sign of postpartum depression. Also, the last symptoms I want to tag is fatigue or abnormal decrease in energy. Sometimes you don't feel like doing anything because you feel tired, and it's abnormal. Sometimes the energy, you can't have the energy to do the things that you like to do most, or to do things for your baby. You see your baby is crying, and you'll be sitting there, you become so helpless. You don't feel like picking the baby up. You don't have the energy to even pull through or pick up this baby while the baby is crying. So those can be some of the symptoms like that. And so it becomes so frustrating for you. So we have discussed mostly about the symptoms of postpartum depression: depressed mood, feelings of guilt, anxiety and panic attacks, trouble sleeping, weight loss or weight gain. So sometimes some people, when they are going through it, they cannot eat, they cannot sleep, and that can cause you to lose weight. And so some of them can lose weight that way. Some others too because they are in depressed mode, they begin to eat anything. They can eat junk, they can put anything in their mouth, and so they begin to gain weight. So you can either lose or gain weight when having difficulty. Also, some of the symptoms that we did not even touch base on can be something like difficulty sleeping or staying asleep. You see, and if you don't get the enough rest, it even increases irritability, anxiety, and frustration. And so sleepless nights can be a symptoms of postpartum depression.